What's up guys, Eric from B-Sonic. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to go through some frequently asked questions with our ENA amplifier, our ENX amplifier, our Shiftpower throttle response controller, and our S-Connect plug-and-play Carplay in Android Auto retrofit. So these are the type of questions that we receive from our customers and our dealers in the shops. And we wanted to give you guys a little more in-depth of our product, give you more understanding so that it gives you more clarification of what product is about. Let's go ahead and dive deep into the frequently asked questions that we received in the recent months with our Encore Alpha and our Encore X power amplifiers to give you a bit more information on what it's all about. Alright, so what is the difference between the ENA-3 Encore Alpha power amplifier and the ENA-2 Encore Alpha power amplifier? ENA-3 has 5 more additional watts compared to the ENA-2, so it's 50 by 4 watts. Instead of the speaker RCA input, it has a speaker RCA output, so that you can easily install or add a power subwoofer or additional amplifier to spice up your factory sound system. In addition, the ENA-3 has a separate blue remote wire so that it's very easy to add your additional amplifier or power subwoofer. And going on with our ENX DSP amplifier, the ENX DSP amplifier is a totally different animal. It's DSP, digital sound processing amplifier. It has the same amount of power, 45 by 4, with the ENA-2 Encore Alpha power amplifier, but it has much more functions. One of it is it has the built-in power subwoofer out with those 2 RCAs. It also has the low-level RCA output, front left, front right, rear left, rear right RCA output, so you can easily add another amplifier to it to power up all your speakers, or if you want to replace all your factory speakers. The aftermarket one, you can do that as well. And it also has a very powerful software that you can use to make a lot of your different adjustments, crossover points that you could adjust. There's high range of EQ, and you can also change the time frequency of every single speaker inside your car. So the separate remote blue wire is included in the Encore Alpha 3 series amplifier and also the Encore X DSP amplifier. It is not included in the Encore 2 Alpha amplifier. So if you want to add an additional subwoofer or powered sub with your Encore Alpha 2 series, if you want to do that, then you could go ahead and splice into the blue wire on the Encore Alpha 2 series to get that remote wire power towards the new amplifier. So for the Encore Alpha 3 series amplifier and the Encore X DSP amplifier, the remote wire that is attached to it, it's a little bit on the shorter side, so most likely you will have to extend it out to where your new amplifier or new power subwoofer is installed in your vehicle. The Encore Alpha 3T3 power amplifier will work with factory equipped JBL models, but the problem is when you install that power subwoofer, the volume knob that controls the factory sound system will not control the new aftermarket power subwoofer. That's because the volume control is actually done at the JBL amplifier, and you have to remember JBL amplifier is separate with the factory radio, and our Encore Alpha 3T3 amplifier installs between the factory radio and the JBL amp. So when you're turning that knob on the factory radio, it's changing the volume on the JBL, which is after our amplifier. So while it's adjusting all the volume, it's actually bypassing the Encore Alpha amplifier. So the Encore Alpha amplifier is not getting the volume adjustment input, hence the new power subwoofer's volume will not change when you change the volume on the factory radio. We are working on a solution for this. I'm going to make an adapter, so stay tuned. It's going to be released very soon. The ENA-3T3 only can be installed on a power subwoofer because the RCA output that provides a signal to a new amplifier is doesn't give enough power to power straight into the subwoofer. The new subwoofer will need its own power from either a subwoofer amplifier, or you can get the whole entire power subwoofer package, which includes the subwoofer and also the amplifier in one box. Now let's talk about the S-Connect questions that we received in the past months. So for our S-Connect, we'll have our in-house S-Connect specialist, Benson, to come in and answer all your questions.
Hey guys, my name is Ben. I'm the in-house specialist for BeatSonic's S-Connect interface, and today I'm going to be going over some of the steps on how to go ahead and reestablish the wireless connection and better help the connectivity on how your mobile device connects with our S-Connect interface. And yeah, let's go ahead and walk you guys through the steps. Let's first make sure your vehicle is turned off. And from there, if you're an iPhone user on your phone, go ahead and go into your settings, general, CarPlay, NV17. Go ahead and disconnect and forget it. Might as well just double check your Wi-Fi and Bluetooth settings, disconnect the NV17 from that as well. After that, let's go ahead and turn on the vehicle. Go ahead and switch over to the CarPlay interface screen, which is our main menu screen afterwards, which pretty much brings you the 3-icon screen, which we call it our main menu screen, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and settings. Once you're there, go into settings, Bluetooth, and press on that delete button. After that, all previously connected devices will all be deleted. Afterwards, go ahead and restart your phone and turn off the vehicle. Once your phone is back up and starting, make sure you do not connect to the wired dongle included in our kit. Afterwards, we'll go ahead and start up the vehicle again, and we'll do the exact same thing we just undid. So we'll go ahead and, on your iPhone, go into settings, general, CarPlay, NV17, and go ahead and allow it to scan for CarPlay apps. After that, your wireless connection should be established by then. For Android users, let's go ahead and go into your settings on your phone, go into your Bluetooth menu, delete and forget the NV17W from your Bluetooth menu. Afterwards, go ahead and check out your Wi-Fi settings menu and delete the NV17W from your Wi-Fi settings on your phone as well. After that, go ahead and restart your phone and turn off the vehicle. Go ahead and start up your phone again. After it boots up, go ahead and turn on the vehicle. And once the vehicle starts up, go ahead and switch over to the CarPlay interface screen, or a 3-icon main menu screen where it says Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and settings. After that, go ahead and go into settings, Bluetooth, and press on that delete button to go ahead and delete all previously connected devices. After that, go ahead and restart the vehicle one last time. After the vehicle is started up again, make sure you do not connect your phone to the USB dongle via the wired connection or the USB dongle included in our kit. Make sure you connect wirelessly first. Afterwards, go ahead and go back on your Android phone, go back into settings, Bluetooth, and tap on the NV17W to connect. On occasions, sometimes your phone won't connect to the factory vehicle's Bluetooth system, so therefore you'll be seeing the CarPlay system, but you won't be able to hear any audio or turn-by-turn navigation prompts or turn-by-turn directions. Instead, it's coming through your phone's speakers. If that's the case, just go ahead and make sure you switch back over to the factory vehicle's system and go ahead and go into the Bluetooth or the media or phone, whichever settings is most useful for your vehicle. After that, go ahead and look for your phone, delete it from the factory vehicle's Bluetooth system, and do the same on your phone as well. Go ahead and look for your factory vehicle's Bluetooth system and go ahead and delete it and forget that. And then just to be safe, make sure you restart the vehicle and your phone right after. Once the vehicle and your phone are restarted, make sure you start back up the vehicle, open up the settings menu on the factory vehicle's Bluetooth system, go ahead and add back in your phone. After that, make sure the Bluetooth audio source is selected and your phone is connected. After that, try playing some music, hold the button to toggle back over to the CarPlay interface and make sure you can see and hear turn-by-turn navigation. Right after installation, if you're trying to go ahead and connect your phone to the factory vehicle's Bluetooth system, if there's ever an error message that says microphone not connected or you're unable to pair your phone, make sure you test out your functions before you reinstall everything back. So if you're receiving that microphone not connected issue, this is due to a bent pin in the main wiring harness supplied in our kit. Go ahead and double check the pins both on the factory and our S-Connect interface to make sure all pins are straight and not bent. If they are slightly bent, make sure you just use like a small flathead, pin them back down as close as you can and as straight as possible, and then try reinstalling it back in. Afterwards, go ahead and start up the vehicle again. Make sure you can connect your phone before you put everything back. And that's it for all the S-Connect related questions. Let me go ahead and bring it back to Eric Kwan, back for the Shiftpower questions.
So depending on the exact vehicle model you own, when you put your car into sport mode, one of many things can happen, or maybe all of the things. One of the things could be that your fuel mapping could get a bit more aggressive, so shooting in more fuel, you're getting more spark, hence you're getting more horsepower in your vehicle. Your suspension might tighten up, and also your rev points might even go higher on your transmission. So with the sport mode combined with our eco mode, so what happens is that they both stack on top of each other. So what Shiftpower does is it doesn't change any of the car's tuning or mapping, suspension, any of that. All the adjustments will be done on the acceleration pedal itself. So depending on how aggressively you are pushing down the acceleration pedal, it'll take one notch down on eco mode to try to save some gas. Basically, your shift points and your fuel mapping and your suspension will be a little bit on the aggressive side, while the acceleration response will be toned down. So it could be very similar to your driving experience in a normal mode, but then your car may shift at higher RPM. And vice versa, if you were to drive your vehicle into eco mode, so eco mode from the factory drive setting, and you put R's in a more aggressive sports setting, what will happen is your vehicle will try to save some gas by lowering its shifting points. It'll also be less aggressive with your fuel mapping, less gas, less spark in your engine, which means less power, and your suspension might even get softer depending on your vehicle. So that combined with the sports, more aggressive acceleration response on the pedal. So when you're driving, you may feel that your shift points are still lower, your suspension is still soft, car might feel a little bit slower, but you still have that initial throttle response thanks to the sport mode from our Shiftpower. And the difference between the three modes can be visualized with this illustration. The x-axis is your acceleration pedal position, and the y-axis will show you the throttle response from Shiftpower. So the difference between the three acceleration curves, linear, dynamic, exponential, is that the linear is the most aggressive. It'll hit your wide open throttle the fastest. So depending on what mode you set up, say you put it on linear, you put it on race. Race is the most aggressive mode that we have, and linear is also the most aggressive acceleration curve available. You combine both of them, and even at halfway point on the acceleration pedal, you will hit your wide open throttle. So this works well for heavier vehicles like trucks that really struggles on the initial acceleration because the car is heavy, especially if you upgrade your tires to a heavier tire compared to your factory one. You'll notice that you will have less acceleration off the start, so this is where it comes in handy. Linear works really well for that. And on the other side of the spectrum, there's the exponential. Exponential utilizes the whole entire play of the acceleration, so that depending on how aggressively you're pressing the acceleration pedal, if you're going like 3/4, it'll hit the 3/4 mark. You put it all the way down, there's still that difference because it's utilizing the whole entire range of what your acceleration pedal offers. The exponential is good for sports cars, cars that are already fast, cars that already gives a lot of acceleration response even from the low end, because you want that acceleration growth to be more gradual and exponential instead of being too immediate, because if you have it too immediate, your car's already fast, your vehicle may bog forward and backwards on the low end. So for those vehicles, we recommend using the exponential. And the dynamic curve is in between linear and exponential. So exponential utilizes the whole entire play. Linear will get to your wide open throttle the fastest. Dynamic is a balance of the two. It's right in the center. So if you feel like linear is a little too touchy, you feel like exponential is still a bit laggy, then dynamic is what you want to go for. At the end of the day, it's best explained if you try the different modes yourself to see what works the best. If the vehicle is not listed, the app still hasn't been updated to accommodate all the new models, or old that hasn't been put in to the app yet. We are constantly updating the app. So go ahead and just wait for the next update, and if it's still not there, send us an email. But in the meantime, you could just select any vehicle that's on the list, the closest one that classifies your vehicle. It doesn't necessarily matter which vehicle you choose. It's just to name your car. If you have multiple cars with shift powers, that when you go on the app, you'll know which one you are connected to. By having the shift power throttle response controller, it will not have any direct effect in the longevity of your car or wear and tear of your vehicle. It's all up to how you drive it. If you're always flooring your car, driving very aggressively all the time, it will wear out your car more. You're gonna have to press on the brake more because you're gonna be driving faster. It's going to wear out your tires more because you might be peeling out from time to time. And at the end of the day, it's just the way you drive. It doesn't have to do with the shift power product. It just comes down to your daily habits and how you drive, how hard you take those corners, how hard you brake. Just comes down to how you typically drive your vehicle, which will matter the most in regards to the wear and tear of your car and won't have anything to do with our shift power product. When installing our products, there are a variety of tools that we recommend using to make your installation as easy as possible. So let me go through them very quickly. So the first one is a panel removal tool. And when you're using these panel removal tools, make sure you use the plastic ones. The orange one is pretty soft, so that one can be purchased on Amazon for very cheap. And our panel removal tool, we use it all the time, is to get the tool between these trim pieces, which mostly are being held just by clips. And by having the panel removal tool, will save your fingers, will save the interior from any damage, and it'll just make your life so much easier when installing either our amplifier, our S-Connect, and sometimes you'll use it when you're installing the shift power. And the next product is a 10mm socket with an extension and either a power tool, or you can use a ratchet if you don't have a power tool at home. Most of the bolts inside the car is gonna be 10mm, sometimes 8, and also some Phillips screws as well. So you just need those 3: Phillips screwdriver, a 10mm socket with an extension, either a power tool or a socket wrench, and an 8mm socket. That's to get the ground wire in on the Encore Alpha amplifiers. And for the 10mm socket with either a power tool or a socket wrench will be used mainly for S-Connect installs, the Encore Alpha, the Encore X, and sometimes the shift powers. And the next tool we like to use is a flashlight. Flashlight is used to really just shine the light in those really tight spaces. You might have plenty of light outside or wherever you're working on, but if you really need to look deep inside, sometimes there's too much shadows and too many things in the way that a flashlight really helps you just look deep and have a clear view of where you're routing your wires, your cables, or you're just trying to locate that bolt that you're trying to loosen. And the next must-have is a thick blanket or any sort of cloth they can use to protect the interior of the vehicle. So when you're pulling the radio out, when you're dropping panels inside your vehicle, you want to make sure the surrounding area is protected. You could use some masking tape, and at the same time, use a very thick blanket, set it right in front of it and pull it out, set it there. There's a lot of sharp edges on the radio and some of the other panel pieces that you do not want anywhere inside the car to touch or scratch up your interior. And some other tools that we recommend is a magnetic pickup tool. Say that you're removing that 10mm bolt, especially on like a car like the Lexus RS, where it's really deep in there, it's at an angle, you pull it out, it accidentally drops. What are you gonna do? It's gonna be very difficult for you to find it or to get it. If you have a magnetic tool, you can stick that inside the crevices and try to pick out the dropped bolt, and it will easily help you realign the bolt when you're trying to put it back into the necessary holes, especially if it's really deep or if it's at an angle and you don't want to drop it. It becomes very, very handy. And we also like to use zip ties. Zip ties keeps all our cables and wiring very tidy and very clean. We like to zip tie all the new cables from our kit to the factory harness side to keep everything organized and clean behind the radio. It's just a peace of mind that all your cables were properly organized when you were installing our device. We also like to use masking tape just to protect our interior when you're removing the interior of the panel. Often we like to put masking tape on the side of the steering wheel when you're pulling things out from the center it can easily hit your steering wheel on the side, but you do not want to scratch up your steering wheel. It's just another risk of you scratching up your interior, and masking tape will protect you from any of those damages. And another tool that we like to keep handy is an electrical tape. Electrical tape, it can be used to insulate wires and connection points. And instead of having bare connection points showing, it's always good to just wrap it up, just keep it clean. Peace of mind, you know it's being protected, you know it's not gonna short out. And all of our kits are all plug and play, so there's no exposed wires or anything, but it's always just good to have, just as an emergency. And finally, your smartphone. You can use your smartphone as a flashlight, and if you get stuck in the installation process, you can refer to our YouTube videos directly from your smartphone and follow us step by step in the installation you're doing. It's gonna feel like I'm there right next to you, and I'll be there to assist you in the way. And if you've seen our installation video or any of our other content on our YouTube channel, go ahead and give us that subscribe button. That'll help us come out with more creative content in the future and just shows us that you are very supportive. All right, guys, well, those are the questions that we have been asked recently in the last few months. If you have more questions that we haven't answered, leave a comment below, or you can email us at info@bsonicusa.com. We'll go ahead and gather them, and once we have enough, we'll go ahead and come out with another video like this. Well, thanks, guys, for watching. Really appreciate your support. If you haven't yet, help us by liking and subscribing to our video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys on the next video.